That's like watching a Japanese death match with no storytelling, right?
Right.
Just
violence, yeah.
For the sake of violence, yeah.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Mick Foley. He's a WWE Hall of Famer, a writer who's made multiple appearances on the New York Times bestseller list, and you can keep up with him these days on the Foley Is Pod podcast and YouTube channel. But today, the hardcore legend takes on a battle royale against the Wings of Death. Mick Foley, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Sean. This comes highly recommended by my children.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
and as long as I mention the children, can I say I'm going the vegan option for them?
Me, right along with you. Before we get started, though, how are you around hot sauce? You get all nervous going into this.
A little bit, because the man I think I am may not turn out to be the man I am. I have to take out my cell teeth.
Oh, there we go.
These are the teeth that are knocked out in the cell match. I know you've had The Undertaker on here.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to try this one first, right?
Here we go.
Okay. So you're saying it's going to get progressively hotter from here?
Yeah, this is base camp over here.
Okay, I'm doomed. Okay, let's... All right.
So I'm always interested in the humble beginnings of a wrestler's career.
Yeah.
In your case, commuting 400 miles to train with Dominic DeNucci, living on a diet of peanut butter and bread, sleeping in the back of your Ford Fairmont. When you think about the small towns that you performed in, from Polka, West Virginia to Freedom, Pennsylvania, is there a match that stands out in your brain as being just as compelling, just as good as anything you ever did on a pay-per-view?
Oh, on those little ones? Well, the nice thing about those shows was that every match was your most important match. Ironically, when I got to WWE, there was this feeling of looking out and saying, wow, there's 18,000 people out here tonight. And you know what? There's going to be another 18,000 tomorrow. So although I was not known as a guy who held anything back, I was holding a little something back each night. Whereas like in Polka, there were 26 people there. I remember going all out, just having this incredible feeling of satisfaction. It didn't matter that I was spending more on gas than I was making. What mattered is that we were working towards a dream. This is okay. This wouldn't be my choice. It's pretty good, but not...
Just okay for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the Foley risk-reward analysis?
It's the instantaneous Foley risk-reward ratio analysis. That was, I think it was a God-given gift that would tell me, you want a case in point?
Yeah, I'd love one.
All right, so January 2000, just a few blocks away, Madison Square Garden, I remember Mr. McMahon saying to me and Triple H, no thumbtacks. And then as soon as Mr. McMahon walked away, Triple H looked at me and goes, you put him under the ring already? I said, yeah, I got it taken care of. This is one of the last matches of my career. And so it was a big moment. And I just saw that majestic, pile. There were 5,000, 6,000 tacks. And I thought about the wisdom of taking the pedigree face first in those thumbtacks. And I came to the conclusion that, okay, I could lose an eye, but imagine the pop. This looks more my style. Okay, I'm skeptical.
Yeah, matches the shirt a little bit, Mick.
The Hawaiian's a summer flannel.
Yeah, bringing a tropical vibe to this whole thing,
I like it.
I knew you would. Can you talk me through the technique of busting an eyebrow, and then what are the consequences of doing that maneuver incorrectly?
You think that's going to enrich your life if I tell you that?
I'd love to know.
Well, we're in a better world as far as wrestling goes. Because you don't get the fake versus real debate. But you used to get that all the time. And The most believable and inexplicable to the wrestling cynic would be the busted eyebrow. Now, the problem is, if you just punch somebody hard in the eye, chances are it's going to swell, but not necessarily open up. So Robert Fuller, who was known, Tennessee Lee was one of his names in WWE, Colonel Parker in WCW, he was a third-generation wrestler. Jacko, it's not the force that he taught me. It's punching down. It's like, bam. So it's not boom, it's boom.
Catching an angle.
You catch it at an angle. And they were old school guys who were specialists in it. So I was one of the last of my generation to be like a willing participant in what is a terrible
practice. Right.
The upside is, yeah, it's believable. Downside, yeah, you could go blind. In an ECW match against a guy named Tommy Dreamer, Tommy inaccurately believed that having been the participant in some of these hard ways made me an expert in giving them, which I was not. And he wanted me to open him up hard way. So he wanted to go through the things that I'd gone through. And long story short, after about 6 punches, missed hit everywhere in his face except his eyebrow. I don't care how tough you are. You get punched in the nose, it's going to bring tears to your eyes, right? And after about 5 haymakers that land anywhere, and I'm trying to go down.
You're trying to catch that angle.
They're not
You're trying to
haymakers.
catch that angle.
They're short, they're punches, but they're still, I'm hitting him below the eye, and I'm hitting him in the nose and the forehead, and he gets welts on his head, and he finally looked up to me through tears in his eyes and goes, "Would you please stop biting?" I like it a lot.
Favorite one so far?
I think so. He's out of the original Buffalo.
We'll take that. Can you give me one highlight and one lowlight from performing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo?
I'm trying to think of a lowlight, because I don't know. Do you know of a lowlight? Have I spoken of a lowlight?
Well, I know, you're using like spools of barbed wire instead of the ring rope and stuff like that.
And you would jump to the conclusion that was a lowlight?
It would have been for me, Mick. I know you're built different. You're built different.
My favorite barbed wire match from Japan.
What a sentence.
Was actually not in Korakuen Hall, but in a small prefecture outside of Tokyo called Guma. It was January 10th, 1995, when Terry Funk and I did things that would have gotten us arrested in most countries in the world. And then in 2004, I did an angle with Randy Orton. We went back over some of the stuff I'd done in Japan, and I saw he had my opponent in a backbreaker over his knee, and I wrapped the barbed wire around my arm, and I came off the ring apron with the elbow, and as I hit, Rick Patterson flipped the guy. It looked incredible. And I looked up at that camera, and I went, bang, bang. And I just, fast forwarding 9 years, now it's 2004, and I'm watching the video, and I was like, you can feign a lot of things. You cannot feign the look of utter joy that I had after I dropped that elbow on Shoji Nakamaki. And I had to admit, like, okay, maybe there was part of me that liked being in there and did not hate it. So yeah, I have some good memories. It was really treated respectfully. Mm-hmm. There was no vibe of like being, like an animal behind bars being shouted out. When you're over there, it was really seen as a respectful endeavor. It's hot. I'm going to give them that. It's hot.
There you go. And you're loving these wings too, it looks like.
I am, right?
Even though it's hot. Going back in. Respect. Fact or fiction, the Mankind character is inspired in part by you reading Mary Shelley's classic novel Frankenstein and listening to Tori Amos.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, when I had the character, and then Mr. McMahon, have you heard your name yet? This is only like the 3rd time I met him, and I actually had heard the name was supposed to be Mason the Mutilator, which I thought that's the death knell of a career right there. So I had a chance. He goes, in this business, we've had crushers, we've had destroyers, we've had executioners, but we've never had a mutilator. And I looked at him, I said, I like it. I like it a lot. But what if And what if were the two best words. What if instead of Mason, I was Mankind the Mutilator? And I started telling him, it could be a double meaning, the destruction of mankind, the future of mankind. And that's, again, going back to Mary Shelley as the creature who is made evil by society, not necessarily created to be that way. And he took it all down, and sure enough, when I debuted, there was no mutilator. It was just mankind. And I'll go on the record I'll go so far as to say it turned out to be pretty iconic.
It worked out for you. It worked out.
I don't think I'm here as Mason the Mutilator. I don't think so.
How about this? Is it true that though muzzled, you wrestled a bear in 1985?
Yeah, I think my fourth match of my career was against a bear.
How'd that go?
Not well. They never go well. A bear is like 8 to 10 times stronger than a human being, right? Mm-hmm. The bears from Canada had killed a person. I mean, that's a historical fact. But that's what we do. We say we can do things when we don't know if we can. So I didn't know the danger I was in. I just knew that I jumped on its back, trying to turn into a show, and the bear stood up and threw me across the ring. And that's when I realized the bear was 8 to 10 times stronger than I was. And I laid down and let that bear defeat me. I was humbled.
Smart.
Oh, yeah.
Smart.
Humbled, big time. All right, whiskey.
Smoke Ghost.
I like it. I have a friend and colleague named ODB who has a food truck. And she uses a whiskey sauce. It's really good on her barbecue.
That's good. And a little hot, but no problem for you.
I'm okay with it. I think it's these green things that
kind of caught you.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Just kind of point out this is, for my kids' sake, almond milk.
Yeah, I'm actually going to join you at the party over here. So in your documentary with A&E, there's a scene where you direct the cameraman to shoot your flying elbow from a lower angle so that it can truly capture the depth, appreciate the depth of that flight. Is it typical for wrestlers to direct their performances with that degree of specificity?
It is now. It is now, in that the producers will seek out the wrestlers and try to get the best possible camera shot. But I was doing this move coming off the ring apron. That, I mean, if you guys see me walk in, right, I struggle a little bit. That's largely because that one move was the poorest skeletal choice I could possibly. It just rattles you. So there's nothing there's more other things in life more frustrating than missing a move, but I'm saying it is frustrating when you do something big, you go back to watch it, and it doesn't come across in the way you hoped it would.
That's that risk reward. There's got to be the reward side.
It's got to be. That doesn't explain why I would do that stupid move on non-televised house shows, though, right?
But that's just because, you care. You're a showman, yeah.
I used to feel like, there might be two people out there who traveled 300 miles, and they deserve to see me get hurt. So I took that seriously. I'm not feeling it.
There you go. Maybe you're just in the clear. I'm kind of feeling it a little bit.
It's good, but it doesn't have the kick that this
power jab, yeah.
Yeah, power jab, I think, so far. That made me the most uncomfortable.
How would you quantify the influence of someone like Stanley Sherman?
Oh, okay, the mask maker. He was a master at his craft. The mask was far more intricate than people thought. But for my cameo videos, I wear a knockoff that was made in Thailand. And for the life of me, I can't really tell the difference. When I contacted the young man from Thailand, he thought I was trying to get him in trouble. And I was like, no,
I just want to know the secret.
I want you to make me a mask, man. Yeah, I was using those little Amazon rubber masks. So I'm pretty good. The young man did a nice job. Thailand.
Well, shout out to Thailand.
Thank you, Thailand.
Mask makers of Thailand.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is the sauce makers of Kansas City.
Okay.
Da Bomb Beyond Insanity. This one I think will catch both of us.
Kansas City knows their barbecue, too.
Be almost immediate.
Oh, yeah, it is immediate. This is just outright cruel. Wow. Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's like watching a Japanese death match with no storytelling, right?
Yeah, right.
Just
violence, yeah.
For the sake of violence, yeah. And you're telling me these next two could get worse?
So, potentially, but Mick, I'd never lie to you.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to be as bad as what you just ate ever. Nothing will be as bad as what you just ate ever, trust me.
You sure?
Yeah, that's a promise.
Have you promised that?
That's a promise.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I remove this from my site?
Yeah,
No.
Go ahead. Get it out of here.
Oh.
And then just be careful around the eyes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I know that behind the twisted persona of your professional career, there's really a kid at heart, a self-described roller coaster addict, someone who has a permanent room in their house dedicated to Christmas.
Right now,
I know. What makes the Hallmark original movie, Christmas at Pemberley Mansion, one of your most beloved films of all time?
I'm going to be honest. It was a good movie. I think I had a pandemic crush going on Jessica Lowndes. I did like it. It was really a really good story, but it's all about the chemistry, right? I don't watch them as much as I used to.
Yeah, you used to be into it. I saw a blog post where you ranked your favorite
my top 10.
Hallmark Christmas
Yeah,
movies.
and that's how you knew about Pemberley Manor.
Yeah. I had to go deep for that.
Yeah, Pemberley, it's a good one. I think, in retrospect, maybe Finding Father Christmas was the better
controversy
movie.
there at the top.
Maybe a little
yeah.
controversy, yeah. We all had those pandemic crushes, right?
Right, yeah. You're not alone in this.
Yeah, some
Mick.
people turned to drinking. I went with long distance, unreasonable
Hallmark
crushes.
movies, yeah.
I went from Jessica Lowndes to Janice from Friends.
That's hey, Mick, you're a guy with some range. You're a guy with some range.
Oh my God, I go, oh my God, I love you, Janice. If you're out there, Maggie Wheeler, and she did a cameo for me that was dynamite, really, yeah. So, yeah, I wanted to have my own Janice shirt made because I can do that through Pro Wrestling Tees.
You're a man who's connected.
With a shirt that says, oh my God. So that's when you know you've been indoors too long, when you start yearning for Janice from Friends. Oh, God, okay. You can tell I didn't actually take a bite? Okay.
We have this over-the-shoulder cameras, too. Now, not fun by any stretch, but after the last one.
Burns the lips for sure.
Yep.
Now it's burning my esophagus. Now
It's
in
a
the stomach.
compound. It's compounding
It's
over
not
here.
playing well with the last one either.
But we're almost to the finish line. We're almost there.
Line. Okay.
Do you have an all-time favorite Jim Ross call?
Oh, you gotta go. I mean, they're great hidden calls, and Jim's got a new book coming out about his 50 greatest calls and the stories behind them, which should be a must-read for any diehard wrestling fan. But I mean, say you're watching the World Cup and a team goes up 3-0, and you see memes across the globe that say, enough's enough, would somebody stop the damn match? I mean, it's a tie with me between God is my witness, he's been broken in half, and enough's enough, would somebody stop the damn match from the same match, only a few minutes apart. I mean, he was really in the zone, and it was great that he didn't know about it, so he was calling it as he felt it. And even if he does know something, might be happening, he is the ultimate professional and just does a great job bringing those matches to life. But since I'm here as a WWE guy, Mike Cole does a darn good job too. So there you go. All right, the last dab. You know how I escaped the wing eating contest?
How did you?
I thought you could contend with like 40 to 50 wings. And then I found out the woman sitting next to me had won it with 470.
Yeah.
And they're just like skin stretched over bone.
Yeah, right.
I got through, and they do them in 2 15-minute rounds.
Yeah.
And I realized I take a pause during that rest period. I thought, I'm gonna throw up. I said, I gotta get out of here. Catch me cheating. And I could see when the camera's on me, and then I see myself on the scoreboard, and I go, like I'm looking, and I go. Then I had like 4 wings in my fanny pack, and they came over and disqualified me.
You have to.
And then I did my best, everything in my ability to act as shocked as I could, outraged that I'd actually been caught. And I'd say like 18 seconds after I was caught cheating and thrown out of the wing bowl, I get a buzzer on my phone, and I see it's TMZ, and I go, I think I'm still relevant, you know? So that made news around the world. But this is a far more fulfilling. Psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. All right, is that enough sauce on there?
That's plenty. Contemplative?
Yeah. For $10, I'll chug this whole bottle.
I can't do that to you. Throw in the towel. Enough. But the good news is,
We're done?
this Inferno match, our version of an Inferno match, we've survived it. We've conquered it. And you know, to close things out, as someone who's been an ambassador to this thing, what do you see as your lasting influence on wrestling?
I like to think I treated people well. I like to think that was my lasting impression. Because I remember coming up through the ranks and not being treated well. And then I remember big stars going out of their way to be kind to me. And I thought, if I ever get to be in this position, that's the way I'm going to treat people, because I like how this feels. So that's the way I hope I'm remembered. You know, I still, one of my hobbies, I do about 40 handwritten letters from Santa. When I had my hip and knee replaced in 2 different operations in 2017, I really worked on my handwriting. And so I hope that people remember, like, that guy from the cell, like, he wrote my kid. He's been writing my kid letters from Santa for like 7 years. So that's honestly what I hope my legacy is, that I treated people well.
Well, you know what? The performance today will only build on that legacy, Mick Foley.
You think so?
Coming in here, doing the kids proud, taking on the
Yeah.
wings of death, living to tell the tale, and now there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you. This camera, let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Not much. Just trying to make a quick buck off my name. You know, no, I do. If you want to know where I'll be in the world, realmickfoley.com, and check out the events page, the cameos, and that's, I believe, all that I have going on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, get a little Santa in there.
All right, wait, look, I'm going to show you, and then your reaction will tell the tale. Whether or not this is Santa's handwriting. Is that Santa's handwriting?
Oh my God.
That's
You do that?
Yeah, that's my hand. Yeah.
Boom! Hot Ones fans, it's been years in the making, but at long last, the next big thing in wings is finally here. Introducing Hot Ones Buffalo Sauce. Our spin on buffalo is a rich and tangy combo of cayenne peppers, distilled vinegar, and yes, real butter, which means that you can put Hot Ones buffalo sauce directly on wings, no mixing or melting required. It's the best damn buffalo sauce I've ever had in my life, but don't take my word for it. Camera guy Bill, Buffalo's favorite son, gives it 2 blazing thumbs up, don't you, Bill? That's a Buffalo Bill guarantee! Heatness.com, that's heatness.com to get your hands on the brand new Hot Ones Buffalo sauce.